Welcome back to the deep dive. So we know you're the learner, always trying to find that shortcut to real fluency.
hmm
And you sent us this great stack of sources that don't focus on some huge, strategic topic, but on something much more fundamental.
Exactly. They focus on the building blocks. Conversational fluency, I mean, it's often not about knowing some exotic word.
Right.
It's about mastering those really common high frequency phrases that you hear every single day at work, at school, even just at home.
And the phrase our sources really drilled down on is maybe one of the most useful. What are you working on today?
It seems so simple.
It does, almost trivial, but being able to answer it automatically and, flexibly, that's a huge win for just communicating
For
efficiently.
sure.
So our mission today is to unpack this simple phrase, understand what's really going on behind it, and give you 5 flexible ways to answer so you never ever freeze up again. Okay, let's unpack this.
So if we start with the core question, the intention behind it, you see right away that this is more than just polite small talk.
It's a tool.
It is a tool. The sources call it a highly efficient conversational tool. It's basically a friendly request for a status update on someone's immediate priorities.
A snapshot of their mental landscape for the day. I like that.
That's it exactly.
And I found the breakdown of the question itself pretty fascinating because it shows why it's so versatile. It's just so transparent.
It really is. You've got what, the thing,
The topic.
the topic. Then are you working on, which is the activity or the effort, and then today, which puts a very clear time limit on it.
And because it's so simple, so confined to just the current day, it works in almost any casual or, semi-formal setting.
It does. And this is the key takeaway for you, the learner. You don't actually have to be doing work in the official sense.
Ah,
The sources really emphasize that we can just mentally swap out that phrase for three equivalent meanings. They're interchangeable.
so this frees you from that word, work.
Precisely. You can hear the question and think, one, what are you doing today? Or two, what are your tasks today? Or even three, what are your plans for today?
So recognizing those 3 just gives you instant flexibility. It doesn't matter if you're writing code or you're planning to go to the beach, you have an answer.
You have a valid answer.
So knowing what the question means is step 1. But step 2 is the critical one for that automatic fluency. The structure for the answer, you need a formula.
Yes. A reliable, predictable structure. It just removes all that cognitive load of trying to build a sentence from scratch every single time.
And the sources gave us 5 incredibly flexible patterns for this.
hmm
Let's dive into the first 2. These are kind of the heavy hitters, right? The most direct and task focused.
Right.
So pattern 1 is the backbone. I'm working on plus task. This is for specific, tangible projects, things that are often ongoing.
Yeah, and this one signals commitment and progress. If you say, I'm working on the quarterly budget, or to a classmate, I'm working on our research paper, you're communicating that you're engaged.
You're busy.
You're busy. It's a just sustained effort, not just, a quick thing you're doing.
Okay, then there's the second pattern, which brings in a sense of urgency or requirement. Pattern 2 is I need to plus action.
Yes. This focuses on obligations, deadlines, duties. The key word here is need. You must do it.
So things like I need to finish the client presentation.
Exactly. Or I need to study for the midterm. This structure is brilliant because it quickly manages the other person's expectations. If you say, I need to, you're basically saying your time is blocked.
But, I have to wonder, is there a risk there? If someone asks you that every day and you always say, I need to do this, I need to do that, doesn't that start to sound a little, I don't know, stressed or negative?
That is a brilliant point, and the sources highlight that exact problem.
Well, they do.
They do. If you overuse pattern 2, it can create what they call conversational fatigue, and that leads us right into patterns 3 and 4, which were developed as a way to shift the emotional tone
Oh.
away from duty and more toward intention and priority.
Here's where it gets really interesting because you're moving from obligation to purpose.
Exactly.
So pattern 3 is all about clarifying your priority. I'm focusing on plus activity.
This is the perfect pivot. You're still saying you're busy, but it highlights concentration, a goal, not just an obligation.
So, like, I'm focusing on learning English.
Yes, that communicates a sustained positive effort. It's much more engaging than just listing off chores you have to do. It's great for conceptual or skill-based tasks.
And then pattern 4, I'm planning to plus action, is more for future intent, right?
Right. This is your go-to when it's not a requirement, it's a choice.
Hmm.
A hobby, a personal goal, something you've scheduled that isn't critical.
Like, I'm planning to go to the gym.
Perfect. Or I'm planning to read a book this afternoon. See how the energy just shifts.
Yeah, it does.
These kinds of answers open a door for the other person to ask about your interests. It deepens the connection. I need to finish the report tends to, well, shut the door.
Right. And finally, pattern 5. We can't forget the days where, you're just not doing much. The relaxed response.
You absolutely need an exit strategy for the dull days.
Ah,
And the sources give us these simple, disarming ways to say that. I'm not working on anything special today, or I'm just relaxing today.
which is so important for fluidity. You're acknowledging the question without having to invent some task.
Exactly. Just be honest about your low-key reality.
So we've got the structural guide, those 5 patterns. Now we need the raw material to make them work, which is the vocabulary, because having the structure is great, but it's useless if you don't have the words to fill in the blanks.
Right. And the sources provided a really excellent segmented list for this. Makes it
Yeah.
very easy to just plug and play.
So let's segment it just like they did, starting with the professional world. For work tasks, you have things like a report, emails, a presentation,
A meeting, computer work, training, the usual stuff.
and they just integrate so smoothly into the patterns. I'm working on the Q3 report, or I need to prep for a meeting.
Or I'm focusing on training today. That variety is what keeps your answers from sounding robotic and repetitive.
Okay, now for the academic world. For school tasks, the vocabulary shifts.
Yeah, you've got homework, class notes, studying, a project, exam prep.
And here, the I need to pattern probably gets used a lot because of deadlines.
It does, but I'm focusing on works really well too. Like, I need to study for my history exam is good. But I'm focusing on my final project this week shows a broader intention.
Right. The structure stays the same. You just change the vocabulary for the context. That's fluency.
And then we have to cover life outside of work or school.
Yeah.
For personal tasks, the vocabulary is things like cleaning, cooking.
Organizing, shopping, exercising, running errands.
Yeah. And this is where pattern 4, I'm planning to, really shines.
It's perfect for it. I'm planning to clean the garage, or I'm planning to run some errands.
Or even, I'm focusing on learning English vocabulary. You're combining that fixed pattern with really relevant words, and it just eliminates all the hesitation.
So if we connect all this to the bigger picture, the goal isn't just to say a correct sentence, it's to have a quick, smooth exchange.
Exactly. And the sources gave us these great real-world examples showing how these patterns create efficient conversations in different places.
Let's look at those. In the first one, we have coworkers, Tom and Maria. They're using very professional language, but it's basically just pattern 1.
All right. Tom asks, Maria says, I'm working on the monthly report. And Tom replies, I'm finishing the slide presentation for our meeting.
And what's crucial is the end of that conversation.
The closure, yeah. They exchange tasks, they confirm they're both busy, and then it's these polite, encouraging lines. Good luck with it.
Thanks, you too. It's purely informational and encouraging, and then they can get back to work. Super efficient.
It's very socially efficient.
Then the dynamic shifts a little bit in the school setting with Anna and Leo. The tasks are different, but the mechanism is identical.
It is. Leo says, I'm studying for my English test. Anna says, I'm working on a science project.
And again, the encouragement is there. Nice. Good luck with your project.
See, the question isn't just checking status, it's reinforcing a social bond. It says, I see you, I see your effort, and I support you.
And that's even true in the most relaxed setting, the home setting with Sophia and her dad. Dad says, I'm cleaning the garage.
And Sophia says, I'm working on my drawing. The dad's response, that sounds fun. The patterns are still there, but the tone is just so much warmer.
So the core question does both things. It checks status and offers connection, no matter if you're working on a quarterly report or just a drawing.
The takeaway from these examples is really that the structure of your answer guides the rest of the conversation.
A professional task gets a professional reply.
And a personal plan gets a softer, more personal comment.
That structural guidance is so important. And speaking of structure, the sources highlighted this one special, very nuanced phrase that acts like a shortcut. This is our aha moment.
Mm.
The expression of the day is, I'm catching up on.
And what's so fascinating here is just how much information is packed into that little phrase.
It's amazing.
If you just say, I'm working on emails, that's neutral. But when you say, I'm catching up on emails, you've just given a whole backstory.
Absolutely. The meaning, as the sources define it, is that you're doing something you need to finish or update, and it implies there was a backlog, a delay.
It's an automatic context delivery system.
Yeah.
When you use those examples, I'm catching up on work, I'm catching up on house chores, I'm catching up on my English study, you are signaling that you're tackling something that's maybe overdue.
And that's so relatable.
It's incredibly relatable. Everyone knows that feeling of being behind and trying to get on top of things. It invites understanding, not just a simple acknowledgement.
So let's just quickly consolidate the big takeaways from this deep dive. We've established that what are you working on today is this super versatile conversational key.
It's designed to efficiently figure out someone's immediate priorities and goals.
And crucially, you now have those 5 response patterns. I'm working on, I need to, I'm focusing on, I'm planning to, and the relaxed response.
And we've shown how you can match those patterns with specific vocabulary for work, school, and your personal life.
And mastering those 5 structures is just a really fast path to sounding confident and fluent. It reduces that, that little pause where you're trying to figure out what to say. It makes it automatic.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean? It means the simple question is the gateway. It's the most common, reliable way to understand the immediate priorities, the mental state of the person you're talking to.
And when you answer using one of these patterns, you're not just saying what you're doing, you're projecting organization and, well, efficiency.
And now that you have these incredibly useful tools, we challenge you to put them to use immediately.
Pay attention today. Notice how often you hear that question and really commit to answering with one of the 5 patterns we discussed.
Yeah, give it a try.
And our final provocative thought for you to consider is the question itself, but applied directly to your own life right now. What are you working on today? Think about which of those 5 patterns working on need to, focusing on, planning to, or that special one, catching up on. Which one best describes your current reality? Use the vocabulary, use the structures, and just see how quickly your conversational fluency improves. We'll see you next time for the next deep dive.